At the webinar on land transport decarbonisation held in September 2021, our distinguished speakers shared on LTA's plans for reducing CO2 emissions and EV rollout, how individuals and companies can contribute to a green Singapore, as well as the learning and solutions to date in achieving a clean energy bus fleet by 2040. Key takeaways of the webinar: land transportation's role in reducing CO2 emissions. Key plans of LTA's National Electric Vehicle Centre, land transport R&D and technological development opportunities. How can we be more confident and sustainable by switching from internal combustion engine vehicles to electric vehicles? Ways to ensure safe usage of the public charging infrastructure, battery electric vehicles and plug-in hybrid vehicles. How do we choose, own a full battery electric or plug-in hybrid electric vehicle in Singapore? At the Logistics Facilities webinar held in October 2021, our distinguished speakers shared on how can Singapore's leadership for sustainable warehousing and facility operations contribute to a green Singapore and a green world. Under Singapore's Green Plan 2030, logistics as a major industry will be a key partner. What is required from a facility point of view to go forward? Key takeaways of the webinar: sustainability is a journey. ROI can be long-term, but it is critical to get started. Customer demands and investment plays a huge role in how that journey moves forward for contract logistics. To build green can be complex. From the design phase, all should be looked at, even the building materials that you use. If you have older facilities, look into retrofitting options to bring in efficiencies and reduce emissions. Solarizing, key points to note and how to ensure the reliability and performance of the system. In November 2021, CILT Singapore hosted a panel of experts to discuss cutting-edge ideas in fleet management, and how they help reduce the industry's overall greenhouse gas emissions. Webinar attendees learn about how fleet electrification is taking hold in Asia, how on-demand logistics is bringing efficiencies for shippers and fleets, and how onboard technologies are cutting down distances and time for deliveries. Key takeaways of the webinar: using digital platforms improves economies of scale and reduces empty miles. Digital platforms can offer one-stop for all container trucking needs with guaranteed fulfillment. Improved planning through logistics transport management systems can achieve 20 to 40% reduction in vehicles required or mileage driven. Hours of route planning can be reduced to minutes when TMS is in place, allowing time to optimize other processes critical to lowering emissions. The move to EVs allows delivery teams to re-examine operational assumptions. At the Air Transport Decarbonisation webinar held in March 2022, our panel of experts shared on the roadmap to implement aviation-specific decarbonisation between now through 2050. Private-public sector collaborations, and the areas of multi-level, sectorial, international collaborations. Key takeaways of the webinar: what is sustainable aviation fuel? Its efficiency, safety, accessibility to the various user groups. Are they available to Singapore? What are the consumer, user implications? Singapore and local-based carriers, related entities. Transitioning towards the 2050 commitments. What roles can Singapore play in the regional, global transformation in decarbonizing the aviation sector? The fifth and final webinar in the Save the World Sustainability-themed series was held in June 2022. The webinar completed the Logistics, Land, air and sea sectors of the industry by focusing on sustainability in maritime and shipping. The session provided valuable insights on Singapore's vision to become a global maritime hub in sustainability, including decarbonisation research and development, green financing, and strengthening carbon accounting and reporting. Key takeaways of the webinar: Direction and roadmap of Singapore in meeting the UN's 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, in respect of the maritime sector. The Port of Singapore in supplying low and zero carbon fuels, and enabling green technologies, as Singapore readies itself for a multi-fuel bunkering transition. Public and private sector collaborations in co-creating an ecosystem to pivot Singapore to become a global hub for maritime sustainability.